And welcome back to Stellaris, everybody. This is the beginning of our penguin run. So at the start of the game, you start off with all of this and your homeworld. So first step first, we have a construction ship, we have a science ship, and we have a fleet of 3 corvettes. And we have our starbase. And our home planet. All in our home system. Now, our home system is completely unexplored. We only know where things are roughly. We don't know anything about them. So, first things first, tell your colony ship to survey the system, and it'll do it all automatically for you. That's all you have to do. But you have to do it for every system. That's important. We'll cover more about the ships later on. For right now, we can't do anything with our construction ships. We'll just leave it be. Our fleet, we're just going to leave it be as well. And our nice little spaceport, we're also going to leave it be for right now. Nothing else is currently, none of these orbital bodies currently are, we don't need to do anything with them at this moment. So next we need to go to our planet. And our planet, we have our planet summary, which tells us basically all the information we need to know about it. Because this planet is our capital, we have 100% habitability on it, which is good, very good. Next we have a surface view. These are the tiles of the planet. Some of them have innate bonuses, like this one has 3 minerals. This one has 1 science of physics on it. This one has 2 engineering research on it. These tile bonuses are very important. These are buildings and how much of a bonus the building will give. If you put a building on a tile that has a resource type on it, it will no longer produce anything but the building's type of resource. So some tiles will have like 1 food and 2 minerals. So if you build a mining network on that tile, it will no longer produce food. So for now, we are going to go ahead and get 2 hydroponics farms building. Food is important for growth, and we need as much growth as we can, especially since we're slow breeders. Oops, wasn't trying to do that. So the next tab is our armies tab, which is where you purchase troops and where they reside. This is an overview of what we have here. I don't understand why we have potential armies. I don't understand why that's in the game. This is the only one that's currently here. Though, if you mouse over it, in either here or here, it'll tell you all the stats about the army. This is true also for fleets and ships. Very useful to know. Spaceports. There's another way to access the spaceport rather than clicking on it directly. That's our planet. Alright, now we also have things to do with our empire up here. So first things first, resources. Energy credits, this is your BC, your income, your cash reserve, your taxes. This is what you spend to maintain things. It's money. Here we have minerals. This is what you use to build things with. Here we have influence. Influence is required for edicts, certain buildings. It can be increased with diplomatic actions, and it is consumed in certain diplomatic actions as well. So think of this as the powerful buildings resource, the way to create policies within your empire, and the way to heavily influence other civilizations. Next we have our 3 research types: physics, society, and engineering. This is how much we make each month. These pluses are per month. Next, we have strategic resources. If we mouse over this, we can see each individual type of strategic resource that we currently have available, both used and not used. Currently, we don't have any. All strategic resources will go under this. If we don't mouse over that and we have 5 different types of strategic resources, their totals will be displayed up there. The left side is how many are available for use, and the right side is how many are being used. This is how many planets we can control directly. You start off base with 5. There are techs to increase this later, but you can't ever control more than the number up here without incurring penalties. And here's our naval capacity. If you go over this naval capacity, you will suffer greatly. It is not like Star Drive 2 where it's generally considered a soft cap. This is a almost hard cap. You can go over it, but it is painful. I wouldn't recommend it. Only if the situation is extremely dire should you go over this number. So over here we have the date. The year starts in 2200, day 1, month 1. Or is that month 1, day 1? Yeah, it's month 1, day 1. Year, month, day. This game is real-time with pausable... It's a pausable, time-adjustable, real-time strategy, Space 4X grand strategy game. That's quite the mouthful. Over here we have our outliner, which has basic information about everything that is super important to our empire as a whole. We have fleets, we have civilian ships, which are specialized and powerful units, but they don't do combat. These are telling us important notifications will pop up here in the top, right underneath our bar. And these 3 pop-ups are telling us we aren't researching anything currently, and we should do that. So let's do that. So here we have our 3 primary research scientists. This guy has plus research speed, this guy has plus research speed with biology specifically, and this guy has, again, generic research speed. So our physics guy has these 3 cards that he can currently research. There is no tech tree in Stellaris. Stellaris is a card system of technology. There is a certain number of cards for each technological level, and your race gets dealt 3 of those, or more, depending on certain factors, every time you research a tech. And you can pick one of them for research. There's no guarantee that you'll get every tech, and there's no guarantee that you'll get a certain tech. There's only a couple of guaranteed techs, as I understand it. So I've never yet seen a start that didn't involve these 3 in physics. I don't know if it's hard-coded that way, but I've never seen anything different. No, that's not true. I had one start where I did not have administrative AI. I had something else. But these are very common for start. So we'll go with administrative AI. So we can research a colony ship, we can research one of these 2. Food plus 10% is really good. So we'll go with this one first. We really don't need colony ships at the very beginning of the game. So we'll get colony ships on our 2nd or 3rd tech, depending on if it's available on the 2nd tech. Engineering. As I understand it, you will always be offered colony ships eventually, no matter what. Like, it'll always keep coming up until you research it. So for these 3 options, we're going to go with engineering facility, which is a tech building. Gives us technological points for research for the first one. Alright, that's that. So up here we have our government tab, where we see everything about our specific government. Our ruler has certain traits, as well as our governing ethics. So our ruler's traits are energy credits plus 10% and monthly influence plus 1. Both are extremely good. He has a 4-skill penguin. He's 33 years old. He'll probably live to, I don't know, 150? Something like that. If we keep re-electing him. So that's our government. Our budget. This shows us a breakdown of how we're making our money and how we're losing our money, along with economic bonuses. Our policy tab. Here we can change many things about our race. Neither one of these are allowable for us because slavery... I wonder why slave procreation is grayed out. Odd. Slavery is allowed. Maybe because we actually can't choose one or the other and it's forced to always be one. I don't know. Our war economy is static, semi-static, or dynamic. So this gives us effects depending on how a war is going. For static, war bonuses, like if we're winning or losing the war, won't matter. It won't change our economy. Semi-static, if we are Losing the war, our military production efficiency will increase. If we're winning the war, our military production efficiency will decrease. And dynamic is a bigger bonus or at both ends. Purge is killing off populations, slavery is enslaving populations, or bombardment is how we attack, what happens when we tell our ships to bombard. Unless you're militaristic, you cannot select full. As you can see, one of the following must be true. We must have militaristic or fanatic militaristic. Migration, free migration. Resettlement, allowed. Voting rights. Leadership, primary species only. First contact protocol, peaceful. Here are edicts. These are empire-wide edicts. As you can see, they have good bonuses, but they also have penalties that come with them. And they cost influence per month. As you see, we're only making 4 per month. Demographics. This shows us the breakdown of our total empire. And you see we have 7 population across 1 world. Here is our empire tab. So this is planets and sectors. This tab is our leaders. There are governor leaders, there are scientists, admirals, and generals. We can have 10, we only have 5. One of our scientists is this one, who is our surveyor. And here are the different factions within our empire. We only have loyalists currently. Next is the contacts tab. Here are the different empires we've contacted, no one but ourselves. And the different species we found, no one but ourselves. Pretty boring so far. Ship designs. This is ship design in Stellaris. You click new design, you click the type of ship you want. Currently we only have those 3 tech types. So you start with. And you think you click here, because this looks like a button, but it's not a button. The button's up here. That threw me off for so long. These are the 3 cores we can have for this class of ship. One has 1 small slot for weapons, 1 medium slot for weapons, and 5 utility small slots. The next one has 3 small weapon slots and 5 utility slots that are small. And the third one has 1 small weapon slot, 3 small utility slots, and 2 medium utility slots. So this one is all about the defense or special items. This is typically this is the one that you start with default. This is a medium weapon. So think of weapon sizes as EVE Online weapon sizes if you've played EVE Online or seen EVE Online. You don't want to use a weapon that is larger than the enemy ship on the ship. So a medium weapon will have a harder time hitting a small ship. A small weapon will have an easier time hitting a small ship. A large weapon will overall do more damage and have longer range, but it cannot hit smaller targets. So once you've identified the core you want, you have these slots. And over here are the ship's systems. Engines, combat computer, chemical thrusters, and radar type. So we can select our weapons. We only have 1 right now. See, adding to the top of the ship there. Those are our turrets. And there. Or we could click autocomplete and say it does the same thing. This is the starting Corvette. I'm just showing you how it happens so you have an idea. We can click this and always have auto-generated designs, which typically are very, very solid. I would say the auto-generated designs, they aren't specialized, but they are very good designs. So, unless you have a specific reason for a specific type of ship, it's generally best to go with the automated design. Our situation log and our victory progress. Currently there's only 2 types of victory, domination and conquest. Conquest means you rule over everybody, and domination means you own the most planets. 40% of all colonizable planets in the entire galaxy, which can be quite a lot. And our technology page. We can also look at what we've researched. Right here. This is all of our starting techs. Alright. Now let's look at the galaxy. Oh my, look at it. There's 4 arms, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they swirl around. This arm swirls around back to here, which is generally how galaxies are in real life. Roughly. Roughly. Somewhat, sorta. Kinda. Alright, and then... now, I'm a big advocate, personally, of knowing what's around you. And to do that, you need science ships. They cost 100 resources. So we're going to be playing, basically, fast forward until we get 100 resources, which is going to be a couple of months. And then, while we're exploring, if we find a good resource to exploit, we will go ahead and use our constructor ship on it. But otherwise, we're not going to build anything. So our star, there's nothing special about our star. Nothing special about the first planet. Now, unlike in other 4X games, barren planets cannot be colonized. Volcanic or molten cannot be colonized. Gas giants cannot be colonized. Toxic cannot be colonized. Okay, we found an anomaly. These are very common, and they are very powerful. This is a level 4 anomaly, and we only have a level 1 explorer. We do not want to do this. Leave be. We'll come back to that later. There is a level 4 anomaly on our moon, which is a toxic world, apparently. We must have been sending our nuclear waste there for eons. Okay. There has been an unknown contact in our home system. Right here. Alright. There they are. Wow, this is... My computer's having a hard time running this plus recording. This is hilarious. Alright, this planet has 2 resources, 2 minerals. So we are actually going to go ahead and use our constructor ship to build a mining station. Even though I said we're going to wait roughly till we had 100. Well, turns out I lied. Minerals are big. We need minerals. So we'll go ahead and grab those. It'll delay the production of the second research vessel, science ship, science vessel, what do you want to call it? Science ship, I guess I should call it. Yay, our leader has gained a level. So we now have a level 2 explorer. He can keep on leveling.
System survey complete.
Alright, so we have explored every body in our home system. So now we can go exploring other places. We're going to start with the ones in our sphere of influence. We're going to tell it to survey that system. Now, currently, the default fleet stance is evasive, which means if he finds an alien species that's hostile, he'll immediately run away. He's going to be brave and advance homeward. Just remember that. They're very brave and they're going to advance straight home. Alright, he's going to go there and do the same thing he did in our home system, but here. From this view, planets that are colonizable will pop up over here. Now we can see when we first come in the system, or it comes within sensor range, what the planet types are, but we don't know anything else about them. This system has an Arctic world in it, which is our habitability type, which means we can colonize it once we have the tech. We have finished building our first resource gathering station there. Since we're only making one energy a turn, we'll build our energy gathering on our gas giant there next. Alright, we've just gotten a mission to colonize, I think it's 7 or 9 habitable planets. Colonizable planets. Doesn't have to be habitable, just has to be colonizable, even if we don't have the tech. So, we'll go ahead and do that. We can see it here on our situation log under, there we go. Habitable World Survey, 0 of 8. And then investigate the alpha aliens. It's a research that takes 180 days that stops our research progress in society. Now, a thing to note about this is that if you pile up like 6 or 7 of these, 4 or 5, whatever, and you start them all at the same time, they will all progress simultaneously, which is the most efficient way to do it, because you don't want to tie this guy up for that long, if you can help it. So, this is the, I would say, the guts of the game right here. Hopefully you guys now have a basic understanding of everything about the game and won't be completely lost throughout later episodes. When new things come up, I'll explain them then, but I'll try to spend as little time talking as possible. I will, however, try to keep you guys informed what I'm thinking if I take an action. So, that's it for this episode. See you guys later.